Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving means turkey. Hey, today I'm going to make up a maple bourbon glazed turkey, and to add a little bit more fun to it, I'm going to give some stuff away. I'm going to dry brine this turkey. To start, I've got 2 tablespoons of kosher salt and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. You want a 3-to-1 ratio here. Now the baking powder helps crisp up the skin on this turkey. If you're not familiar with brining, it's a process that helps keep that turkey juicy. And one of the advantages of dry brining is that it takes up much less space in your refrigerator because you don't need that large pot like when you're wet brining. Now I'm just going to sprinkle this mixture all over the turkey, place it in the fridge uncovered on a raised rack, and leave it in there overnight. Turkey has been in the fridge about 19 hours. Now off camera, I did sprinkle a light layer of pepper on it also before I put it in the fridge. Now what I'm going to do, as you can see, just wiping it off, right? Had a lot of salt on the outside of it to do that dry brine. And we don't want all that salt when we... Now, don't take this inside in the sink and spray it off with water, because this skin is kind of tight. You can feel it from the dry brining. And if you wet it, then you're sort of defeating the purpose of the dry brining, to get this skin dried out nicely. So let me just get the rest of this salt and baking powder and pepper wiped off. You know the drill. I want crispy skin. I need a binder for my seasoning. We're going to use duck fat. I don't know, I've got 2 turkey videos coming out 2 weeks in a row. I don't know if this will be the first one or the second one. But my point is, whichever one comes out first, you will have already seen that I use duck fat on the turkey. For the seasoning today, pick your own, rub you want to use. You can Google on the internet. I'm going to use Armadillo pepper, our signature blend. It's awesome on poultry and pork. Look at that color. I know I'm partial. Just going to season both sides of this guy. Then we'll move it over to the smoker. Got our turkey all seasoned up. Now you can see I did tie up the leg. It just keeps it from flopping around. Got my Bradley rack here. Let's get this to the smoker. Let's get our temp probe. One nice thing I like about this Bradley, it's got some sort of like a nylon coating on the temp probe, so it doesn't burn you when you touch it. Get that guy in there, get the door closed. We got this Bradley set on 275 degrees. See, we got a nice clean smoke coming out. I'm using these apple biscuits today. Now while that turkey's smoking, I'm going to give away one of my Armadillo pepper signature barbecue rubs. That's right. And in addition to that, we're going to throw in a t-shirt. Now, if you're interested in a chance to win, here's what you got to do. Just leave me a comment down below. Tell me some food or recipe you'd like to see us make in 2021. And I'll announce the winner a week from this video. It's been 2 hours. Our turkey's at 123, 125. Just want to show you what it looks like. Pull out this little Bradley tray there. Hopefully you can see it. I know there's some sun coming down on it. So you're getting a nice brown color. Not ready yet. Now what I'm going to do is crank this temp, right? People always talk about you don't get crispy skin. Now this Bradley will go to 320. That'll help us get some crispy skin. Let's get this maple bourbon sauce going. I've got 1 cup of orange juice. Now I'm going to add 1 cup of real maple syrup. Make sure to use real maple syrup because it really makes a difference. going to grab the soy sauce here, and what we'll do is measure out about 1/4 cup. Yeah, I guess this could have been faster if I'd have taken the dripper out of the bottle, but we'll still get there. This recipe will take, you could add up to 1/3 of a cup if you really like the flavor of soy sauce. I'm not a big fan of it, but it does work in this recipe. Now, let's get to the good stuff, Kentucky bourbon. You don't need to waste your expensive top shelf here. I've got Black Label Ezra Brooks Kentucky bourbon, which is a fine bourbon, and it's not very expensive. So let's measure out here about 1 cup. Well, wait a minute. To be safe, let's add a little more. I'd say that's about another 1/2 cup. I'll just give everything a stir to get it all mixed in. And by the way, I've got this burner set on medium-high. The final ingredient is some yellow mustard. I'm going to add, if I've got enough in this bottle, you can see I'm towards the bottom, 2 to 3 tablespoons here. Yep. And then we'll just stir this in. You see it's got a nice simmer here until I stir it up, but still a little thin. We'll just keep cooking it till it reduces down about 1/3 more. It's been 4 hours. We're right at 163. We're going to glaze this turkey, with that bourbon glaze. Let me get this one out. In fact, let me get my glove. Let's get my drip tray out here, because I do not want to make a ginormous mess. There she is. I hope you don't get my elbow. Just going to get this bourbon, teriyaki, orange juice glaze all over this bad boy. We're going to get her back in here. Just let it finish coming up to that 165. It's just a little after 4 hours. The turkey is probing right at 165. I also checked it with my separate instant read. Same thing. This Bradley holds the temperature. The readings on it are always within 2 degrees. Get this bad boy out of here. Got our bourbon glazed turkey here, seasoned up with our Armadillo pepper signature rub. I think a total cook time was somewhere between 4 hours and 4.5. We used Applewood. Look, it almost looks like you shellacked it. Let me just cut a little piece here. Oh, I cut right on the bone, wouldn't you know? Cut a little piece this way. There's our turkey right there. Nice, tender. Skin stays on. Well, look how easy it cuts. Skin looks like it stays on there pretty good. How about that? Let me cut that right in two like that. Oops, I almost lost that piece. Let's give it a try. You get that sweetness from the orange juice and the bourbon. Of course, that Armadillo pepper rub adds a little sweetness as well. Really juicy. Smoke is mild. We smoked for, I think it was an hour and 40 minutes. We used Applewood. Thanks so much for watching.